we present a novel approach for culling extreme-scale segmentation volumes using a hybrid deterministic and probabilistic approach. Large segmentation volumes can contain millions of different labels, where each voxel is assigned to a particular segment or label. For many visualization and analysis tasks, it is crucial to quickly identify which segments are located where. We call this process culling. In this work, we present a method that enables efficient culling of millions of labeled segments. We propose a hierarchical data structure that we call the label list tree, where each tree node represents the set or list of labels of the corresponding spatial region. To generate that tree, we start with a multi-resolution segmentation volume. To handle large datasets efficiently, we divide each resolution into smaller blocks. We first compute the label lists for each block in the highest data resolution. Conceptually, the label list is a bit string that stores 1 for every label that is present in a block. Our tree stores 2 different kinds of label lists. First, we compute resolution-adjusted label lists that are computed directly from the segmentation data of the corresponding resolution. Second, we compute resolution-independent label lists by combining all the label lists of the previous higher resolution. We need both types of label lists to support a wide variety of different culling operations. We propose probabilistic as well as deterministic encoding of label lists. For deterministic culling, we base our label lists on a compact data structure called drawing bitmaps. We split the bit string representing the label list into smaller chunks, where each chunk can be encoded separately depending on its sparsity. For probabilistic culling, we use Bloom filters. Bloom filters are very compact and allow quickly checking whether a label is part of a label list or not. False positives can occur, making the culling more conservative. To encode the label list tree, we follow a data-adaptive approach. For each node, we estimate the best data structure for representing the labels of the corresponding spatial region. The input for culling is a so-called query that defines the set of labels we are currently interested in. All blocks that do not contain any of these labels should be culled or removed. Culling is performed hierarchically. We start at the root of the label list tree and check if any labels of the query are present in the current node. If yes, we proceed to its children. If not, that node is culled. The result is a list of all nodes that contain any of the labels in the query. For faster culling performance, we further optimize the hierarchical query evaluation. During depth-first tree traversal, we minimize the size of the query as much as possible. That means that we remove elements from the query that are not present in the data anymore. To update the query, we compute the intersection between the current node's label list and the query. At runtime, we use the label list tree together with a novel query-adaptive culling strategy. While filtering the query down the tree, in each node we adaptively select a data structure that is best suited for evaluating the query, depending on the current query characteristics. Here we show some examples of our culling method. First, we visualize the KESM mouse brain dataset, which contains more than 224,000 labels. The renderer uses empty space skipping, based on our culling method, to skip those areas in the volume that don't contain any enabled labels. We use a debugging view to show the actual volume blocks that are being raycast after empty space skipping. The next example is a SEM mouse cortex dataset with 1 terabyte of raw image data and more than 4,000 labels. We again show the remaining blocks after empty space skipping. When the set of enabled labels changes, the output of the culling step changes too. In the next step, we show the visual output of a fast spatial query that evaluates the labels in a region of interest in the volume. In this example, the user queries a cylindrical region around a segmented dendrite. In the final example, we show a generated phantom dataset containing more than 4 million labels. First, the user selects 2 labels to start a spatial distance query. Next, we show empty space skipping on this dataset, with only a few selected segments. Note that we are again showing a debug output to highlight the actual volume blocks that are being rendered. Thank you for watching.